Hey sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. The 1967 Topps baseball set is considered one of the best sets of the 1960s based on the simplicity of the design, which allows the player images to be the focus of the set. It was also the first Topps set to break the 600 card barrier, coming in at 609 cards. The backs showcase a vertical design which allows more length for the season-by-season stats and still enough room for a short paragraph and the Topps cartoon. It's worth noting that the lime green background makes the set more condition sensitive because it accentuates damaged corners and edges. The high number series, card numbers 534 to 609, appear less often compared to the other 67 Topps cards. The fact that rookies for Kuru and Siver are found in this part of the checklist certainly helps increase the value for those cards. In this video, I'm going to show off the top 10 most valuable cards from the 1967 Topps set based on their PSA 7 values. I'll also give the values of those cards in higher grades as well as the population count of those grades. Now, before I get to the top 10, here are the cards that just missed the top 10. At number 15, the Carl Yastrzemski card. At number 14, the Norm Cash card, which is in the high number series. At number 13, the Tommy John card, also in the high number series. At number 12, the Maury Wills card, also in the high number series. And at number 11, the Red Sox team card, also in the high number series. So, which cards made the top 10 list? Let's go find out. Coming in at number 10, we have the Mike Shannon card. Now, if you're wondering why Mike Shannon would have come in at number 10, Shannon was never really a superstar and he never even made an all-star team, but he was a key member of two Cardinals World Series championships in 1964 and 1967. And he finished 7th in National League MVP voting in 1968 for helping the Cardinals to another National League pennant. But I think the main thing going for the Mike Shannon card is his card is in the high number series. As you can see in a PSA 7, there have only been 193 graded copies. Current VCP average price, $250. There have been 228 graded a PSA 8. They go for around $385. There have been 28 PSA 9s. They sell for around $1,684. There has not been a card graded PSA 10. At number 9, we have the Pete Rose card. In a PSA 7, there have been 763 graded copies with a VCP average price of $260. There have been 521 graded a PSA 8. They sell for just under $700. There have been 78 PSA 9s. They sell for around $5,591, placing the Pete Rose actually at the number 5 spot in terms of PSA 9 values. There's been one card graded by PSA 10 at 8, or by PSA in a 10. VCP has no reported sale of that PSA 10, so who knows what that card would sell for today. At number 8, we have the Hank Aaron. In a PSA 7, there have been 776 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $350. There have been 646 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $816. There have been 69 PSA 9s. They sell for around $7,200, placing the Hank Aaron at number 4 on the top 10 list for PSA 9 graded values. There has not been a card graded PSA 10. At number 7, we have the Rocky Colavito card. Again, while not a Hall of Famer, he was a big-time slugger and overall producer and was a superstar in his time. But again, I think the main thing here is his card is in the high number series. There's only been 173 copies graded a PSA 7. They go for around $375. There have been 179 graded a PSA 8, they go for around $463. 59 graded a PSA 9, $873 for the average price, and there have been 2 graded PSA 10. The last sale back in July of 2015 on eBay for $1,675. On to number 6, the Willie Mays card. In a PSA 7, there have been 754 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $392. There have been 726 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $777. In a PSA 9, there have been 118 graded copies. They go for around $4,400, and there has not been a card graded a PSA 10. At number 5, we have the Roberto Clemente card. In a PSA 7, there have been 805 copies graded with a current VCP average price of $459. There have been 553 graded a PSA 8. They go for around $860. In a PSA 9, there have been 99 copies graded. They sell for around $5,069. There have been 2 graded a PSA 10, and the last one sold in August of 2018 through Golden Auctions for $43,200, placing the PSA 10 Roberto Clemente at the number 4 spot in terms of PSA 10 values. On to number 4. The Brooks Robinson card. Now, not only is Brooks Robinson a Hall of Famer, but his card here is in the high number series. There have been 351 graded a PSA 7 with an average price of $618. There have been 262 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $963. There have been 42 graded a PSA 9. They sell for around $3,480. There have been 2 graded a PSA 10. The only sale recorded on VCP's database took place in May of 2010 on eBay for just $2,550. Now, really, that would place the Brooks Robinson at number 5 on the list in terms of PSA 10 values, mainly because there aren't many cards that have received a PSA 10 grade. But who knows where a PSA 10, if one of those 2 would go up for sale, given that it is a Brooks Robinson card and a high number series card. At number 3, the Rod Kuru rookie card. In a PSA 7, there have been 687 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $978. There have been 441 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $2,427. There have been 62 PSA 9s. They sell for around $15,316, placing the Rod Kuru rookie at the number 2 spot based on PSA 9 values. There has been 1 graded a PSA 10. The last sale of that card took place in February of 2021 through Heritage Auction and sold for $186,000, placing the Rod Kuru again at number 2 spot based on PSA 10 values. All right, card number 2 is the Mickey Mantle. In a PSA 7, there have been 1,436 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $981. There have been 864 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $1,978. There have been 79 graded a PSA 9. They go for around $14,734, placing the Mickey Mantle actually at the number 3 spot based on PSA 9 values. And there has been 2 graded a PSA 10. The last one sold in October of 2013 for $68,676, also placing the Mickey Mantle at the number 3 spot based on PSA 10 values. But again, that was a sale 10 years ago. So who knows what a PSA 10 mantle would sell for today. And of course, at the number 1 spot, yes, you have the Tom Siver rookie card. In a PSA 7, there have been 700 graded copies. They sell for around $1,885. There have been 605 graded a PSA 8. They go for around $3,529. There have been 95 graded a PSA 10. They go for around $15,899, placing the Tom Siver also at the number 1 spot for PSA 9 values. And there have been 3 graded a PSA 10. The last sale in April of 2021 through Golden Auction sold for $344,400, also placing the Tom Siver rookie at the number 1 spot for PSA 10 values. Well, there you go. The top 10 most valuable cards from the 1967 Topps set. As always, would love to know in the comments, what do you think about the cards that made the top 10 list? And if you've missed some of the videos in this series, here are 2 that you can check out. With that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.